Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Jason Lehman. I'm the marketing team lead here at Fishbowl Solutions. And today we're going to be providing an overview on Fishbowl Solutions enterprise support offerings for Oracle WebCenter. Really want to thank everyone for watching and listening to this webinar. The person that will be providing most of this discussion is Fishbowl's enterprise support manager, John Lundgren. Welcome, John.
Hi, Jason.
You'll be hearing more from John in just a couple of minutes. But first, here's what we'll be covering today. So I'll start things off with a quick overview of Fishbowl Solutions, who we are and what we do. I'll then let John give an overview of his background and why he has the experience and expertise to be speaking about this topic. From there, we'll get into the business problems we've seen with organizations that don't have the necessary Web Center expertise to handle support issues in their organization as they occur. Unfortunately, this might be more of a relevant topic for some of your organizations right now, where the pandemic has really caused some issues for some of those employees that were supporting Web Center. You might have new Web Center support people on staff now. So as we talk about supporting your system, think of us as really being that extension of your team during this time. We'll then discuss how these problems can be solved by partnering with Fishbowl Solutions for enterprise support, and then give specific details on what's included with enterprise support, including some strategic areas that may not immediately come to mind when you think of enterprise support. So a quick overview on Fishbowl Solutions. Fishbowl's overall goal is to help customers solve their costly and frustrating knowledge sharing problems. Since 1999, we've been working with Oracle WebCenter, specializing in enterprise content management and portal solutions, really trying to help organizations better manage, retain, and distribute content through enhanced desktop and mobile experiences. We also help organizations leverage Oracle's Content and Experience Cloud, focusing on developing omni-channel experiences for their digital content. Most recently, we've been developing mobile applications and creating chatbots or digital assistants for customer and employee service, as well as sales enablement. And to help you find all that high-value content within your organization, we provide enterprise search software and services for both on-premise and cloud-based use cases, leveraging Mindbreeze and Google Cloud. And so with that, I'd like to bring back Fishbowl's resident expert when it comes to Web Center support, and frankly, all things Web Center, John Lundgren. John, please tell us more about yourself and how you became a Web Center expert.
No problem, Jason. I started working for Stellent right out of college in 2005. When I started working there, I started right out the gate with working with Web Center content, Web Center records as a support engineer. As time went on and I learned more about the product, I got promoted to an ARE, which is referred to as an advanced resolution engineer, and eventually a BDE as well, or a bug diagnostic engineer. So over the years, I worked with most of the aspects of Web Center, including the administration, performance tuning, and almost all aspects of the product. I left Oracle in 2014 to come to Fishbowl so I could continue my career with Web Center, but on a more personalized basis with the customers that use it.
So, John, thanks for that little background about yourself. I'm sure a lot of the problems you saw when you first started your career as a support specialist are probably still problems you see today. Please describe them for us.
Sure thing. So let's start with just the support inconsistency. So what I mean by that is that vendor support usually consists of support personnel with a widely varying skill levels, support experience, soft skills, and overall availability, and of the ability to provide timely responses. All of this can result in a lack of trust that when an issue arises, it's going to be handled appropriately and resolved quickly. Going hand in hand with support inconsistency is the lack of quality of the support provided. Some of the most common complaints that we've heard from customers are poor communication, a lack of senior resources, and the heavy use of templated responses. I've been with Fishbowl and I've experienced this firsthand when opening service requests or SRs from the partner side. Even if I were to provide the exact information, log files, version information, steps to replicate, and so forth, I'm still asked for the same information by less experienced engineers. Another prime example is how many times customers have been told to disable all of their customizations as soon as custom components are discovered in their environment, regardless of what functionality they bring into the environment. Which brings me to the next issue, which is relearning or lost knowledge. For example, when being asked for version information, that you've previously provided in another service request or in the same service request, since knowledge of the environment is not maintained between those service requests. Vendor support is structured in a way that it's used for firefighting of problems, or in other words, it's only about solving the immediate need and not about building a more stable and overall more usable WebCenter implementation. Finally, and perhaps the culmination and worst case of all these things, is system downtime, where WebCenter is unusable or performing so poorly that the system might as well be offline. As we know, WebCenter implementations are expensive, and if the system is not stable or issues arise that are impacting the business, it can result in wasted resources, reduced end user satisfaction, reduced end user adoption, and ultimately not getting the most out of your WebCenter investment.
That's a lot of issues that a customer might encounter. What can they do about it, John? How can Fishbowl's enterprise support for WebCenter help in these areas?
So let's go back and look at those issues that I mentioned again, one by one. The first issue that we identified was a lack of support consistency. Fishbowl support has a fine-tuned, proven issue resolution process with consistent service request handling. All of our SRs are tracked and maintained within our Zendesk ticketing system. I also want to point out that it's more than just my knowledge of WebCenter that you can rely on. We have an entire team of WebCenter experts with close to 100 years of combined experience across the entire company. Next, we identified a lack of overall support quality. Fishbowl support has a dedicated expert-level WebCenter resources, automated escalation of tickets, and the visibility of service requests at all levels of Fishbowl to ensure that we're consistently delivering industry-leading top-quality support. The third issue we identified was lost knowledge or the relearning that is necessary in providing support from issue to issue. Fishbowl support gets to know how your users are using the system and the business use cases for your WebCenter environment. This also includes maintaining your environment configuration and architecture information. This allows your organization to transition from a firefighting, day-by-day issue support model to one where you're evolving your WebCenter environment to a more stable platform and helping drive high-end user satisfaction and adoption. And lastly, how do we further minimize the WebCenter system downtime? We have a pretty good track record for proving WebCenter support is backed by a 99% customer satisfaction rate. And what that translates into is that we can provide a level of care for you and your organization that is unmatched. Fishbowl's experience and expertise will help your organization see dramatically reduced resolution times of issues with the overall goal of maximizing both IT resources, utilization within your organization, and a return on investment on your WebCenter implementation.
Thanks, John. It was important that we level set on the business problems we've heard about when it comes to WebCenter support and how Fishbowl's team of WebCenter technical experts could help. Let's transition now to what Fishbowl's enterprise support for WebCenter includes.
Sounds good. So let's start with the comprehensive services that we do provide. First, at the administration level, we will help make sure WebCenter is configured to give users the appropriate access levels so they can get to the content that they want. We also help apply metadata updates like adding more metadata to a profile, changing default values, or adding values to option lists. We can also help set up workflows and their corresponding rules. Additionally, in most cases, this includes the customizations that you've made to WebCenter. Second, and probably the most common service we provide, is break-fix troubleshooting. As in, there's a problem with WebCenter, and all you have to do is just give us a call and we'll fix it. Some common examples are refinery issues where items get stuck converting into PDF, or failures that occur when users are checking in new content, or problems when searching. Third is system patching. We will stay informed of the relevant patches for WebCenter and let you know when there's an update available. Once we have the go-ahead, we'll go ahead and patch your system for you. Another feature you'll receive with Fishbowl's enterprise support is proactive monitoring. We will do spot health checks on your environment to make sure it's running smoothly and to ensure there aren't any potential problems. If we find anything, we'll notify you of the potential issue and suggestions on how we can resolve them. And we will also work with Oracle on your behalf. You'll submit tickets and handle all the interactions with Oracle so that you don't have to worry about it.
Wow, but really very comprehensive offerings, John. That covers the 5 different services that WebCenter customers should expect from our enterprise support services. But that's not all that the support services from Fishbowl provides. John, tell us what else is included and what may be those other value-add services customers may not initially consider?
No problem. So I should say first that each of Fishbowl's enterprise support contracts come with a specified amount of hours, and those hours can be used to perform any of the services that I just mentioned and are listed here. However, we have customers that can also use a portion of those hours for other value-add services. For example, one of these could be a session to deliver and vet out how your web center system can be optimized. Perhaps you feel web center's overall performance is poor. We could help you troubleshoot and what may be causing that poor performance. Or this could be a vision session. This is a customer's vision, really to flesh out where the customers want to take content management and enabling technologies, like searching over the 18 to 36 months. You could also set up a session to discuss your roadmap for Web Center and for content management at Oracle. Such a session would include where Oracle and other enabled technologies are taking their products and where Fishbowl is taking its products, as well as use cases and various trends in the marketplace. These sessions could help you plan out an outline for the continued use and possible expansion of Web Center and those enabling technologies in your organization and identifying business objectives that can be executed upon. And another service that we can provide is architectural strategy sessions. These sessions are designed to help clients uncover and work through the technical issues and promote forward-thinking technologies such as cloud hybrid approaches, improved interfaces, extended use cases such as mobile, resulting in great usability and the value across your organization. So again, Fishbowl's enterprise support service for Web Center can really help an organization better maintain and optimize its current system, all the while helping you plan and ensure long-term success.
Wow, John, it really sounds like a comprehensive support offering. What about the Web Center versions covered under Fishbowl Enterprise Support?
One of our main goals when developing the Fishbowl Enterprise Support offerings was to ensure that the legacy versions of Web Center were covered with the same level of service as the newer releases. It's a very common story to hear from a prospective customer that when they are running older legacy versions of Web Center, that they are sometimes told that those versions are no longer supported by Oracle. That's not entirely true. Instead, what they've entered is what's called sustaining support, which basically means that support is provided on a reasonable effort basis. With Fishbowl support, we strongly believe that just because you haven't had a chance to upgrade or it's infeasible to do so, the level of support you should receive should not ever degrade. We strive to provide the same exceptional level of service for all versions of Web Center. With this, Fishbowl's enterprise support includes support for the various components and add-ins of Web Center content, such as desktop integration suite, inbound refinery, and even records management. We offer support for Web Center Portal as well.
So John, we're at this point in our discussion. We really need to make sure customers understand that Fishbowl's enterprise support services is indeed a supplement to their current support agreement they already have in place with Oracle and their associated maintenance contract. Can you please elaborate on that?
Sure thing. Fishbowl support offerings are meant to supplement Oracle's support agreement, and they are not meant to be a substitution for an active maintenance agreement. In addition to support from Oracle, an active maintenance agreement allows us to submit defects and enhancements to Oracle development, as well as provides you with access to Oracle software, including updates and patches.
So again, customers need an active Oracle support maintenance agreement if we are going to provide them enterprise support.
Correct. So you can think of Fishbowl support as a member of your own IT staff that manages Web Center for you.
All right, so what about customers that decide they're not moving to the next version, John? So how can we help legacy customers in this regard?
Well, we'd love to see all of our customers upgrade to the new releases of Web Center and enjoy all the features and enhancements that it provides. But I also realize that this is not always feasible for various reasons. Financially infeasible, too heavily customized, and so on. This may also include customers that are switching from ECM systems or moving to a non-Web Center platform. In these cases, whether it's an ongoing basis or in the interim before the migration, Fishbowl support can provide exclusive support for your environment.
Thanks, John. So let's focus on some examples of customers that we are currently providing enterprise support for. So this slide breaks them down into customers that receive level 1 and level 2 support from Fishbowl. Can you help differentiate these, please?
Absolutely. So level 1 support is basically the customers contact us for really anything. End user issues, administration issues, and so on. These customers don't typically have the necessary Web Center resources to handle such issues, so they turn to us for all things Web Center. And some examples of these customers include an aluminum manufacturer with operations in China. They're a highly regulated industry, and they manage their policies and procedures within Web Center. They can't afford to have these documents get stuck in the system or have it where groups of users can't access them. This could disrupt their production for long periods of time. So when this does happen, we do break-fix style support for their issues. Another manufacturer that we helped lost a lot of Web Center knowledge over the years and hasn't been replaced. This means a lot of Web Center knowledge does not exist at the company, so they've essentially given us full administrative control over their system. As the last example of level 1 support, we are also working with a real estate investment company. Like the aluminum manufacturer, a lot of content they manage in Web Center is critical to their business in terms of getting these lease agreements. They need a stable environment, so when an issue arises with their system, we do break-style fix support for them as well.
And how about for level 2 support? What's the difference there, John?
The main difference between level 1 and level 2 support is that the level 2 support companies have some Web Center knowledge and experience in their staff. They may be able to handle most issues that arise, like permission-based issues, but when they don't, they turn to us. For example, that same aluminum manufacturer that I mentioned in level 1 support in China, we also provide level 2 support for their US office. So these issues may be more advanced than what their Web Center team can handle, so we provide administrative support for them. The last example is a forklift attachments manufacturer. This is a long-time Web Center customer with a very committed and experienced Web Center administrator. Unfortunately for her, no one else in the company has anywhere close to the level of Web Center knowledge that she has. So even things like vacations for her were very stressful. We've had enterprise support contract with them for nearly 5 years, and we've really become an extension to her team, providing administrative support when needed.
A lot of great customer examples there, John. So for other customers, and to really summarize our discussion today, what are some of those issues or problems that customers might have that Fishbowl's enterprise support could help solve?
Sure. So number one, there is no dedicated Web Center administrator. 10 plus years ago, every Web Center customer had a dedicated administrator. But in most cases today, that role falls to general IT staff that may have never even seen the product before. So we provide the expertise that they need to resolve the issues that they see. Number two is a set of novice Web Center users. Perhaps the company has introduced a new department or business group to Web Center, which typically will cause a lot of general usability questions. Another big one is companies that have content-centric business processes that cannot be delayed. From our customer success examples, I mentioned a customer with policies and procedures use case that is critical to manufacturing, and issues with the document supporting this use case can hamper production. If you have a similar content that drives processes, you have to ensure maximum uptime of your Web Center system. And perhaps you just need an extension of your team, a partner to take over when people are out of the office or when knowledge experts leave. Again, I think we all believe that this pandemic is temporary, but if your organization has lost some Web Center resources recently and you are looking to have your expert team take over the administration of Web Center and further reduce the risk of in these areas, Fishbowl Enterprise Support could help. Lastly, and I say this about all the customers, Oracle WebCenter should help you and your business, definitely not hinder it. A lot of hindrances we see have to do with Web Center administration. If Fishbowl can assist with the administration for your organization, you can focus more on your business and less on making sure your software is running correctly.
John, thanks so much for the information you shared on Fishbowl's enterprise support services today. For more information on this service, as well as other Web Center value-add solutions, please visit us on the web or through social media. Thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day.